Day 100 of 108 days, holistic cultivation, 100 days of returning to peace. Day 100 marks 100 days of returning to yourself more consciously, 100 days of breathing more intentionally, slowing down emotional reactions, protecting nervous system stability, recovering more honestly, returning to grounded awareness again and again. That repetition changes a human life quietly. Holistic cultivation teaches that deep transformation rarely happens through one dramatic moment alone. It happens through ordinary moments repeated consistently. One calmer breath, one healthier boundary, one mindful pause, one peaceful evening, one honest return after stress. These moments accumulate inside the nervous system over time. Day 100 reminds us that stability is built gradually. A calmer nervous system creates clearer thinking, steadier emotions, wiser communication, healthier pacing, more sustainable energy comes. That is real progress. The goal of these 108 days has never been perfection. The goal has been learning how to live more consciously, more peacefully, and more sustainably inside real human life. Less internal warfare, less emotional chaos, less unconscious suffering, more awareness, groundedness, emotional resilience, clarity, sustainable peace. Day 100 is also the cultivation of respect for consistency. 100 days of returning already reshape perception, emotional patterns, nervous system regulation, daily rhythm, relationship with life itself. Even if the transformation feels quiet, it is real. Tonight, acknowledge this milestone honestly. 100 days of conscious returning matters deeply. You continued breathing, you continued observing, you continued rebuilding peace from within. And that alone is meaningful. Ethan A. Gwynn, Quiet American Ethicist. Day 101 of 108-day holistic cultivation, continuing peacefully after long effort. Day 101 is the practice of continuing peacefully after long periods of effort, learning, healing, and inner rebuilding. Many people know how to begin strongly. Fewer people know how to continue sustainably. Over time, the nervous system can become tired from constant striving, emotional pressure, overstimulation, internal expectations, carrying too much without enough recovery. That is why sustainable pacing matters. Holistic cultivation teaches that long-term peace is built through balance, effort and rest, awareness and action, discipline and softness, movement and recovery. This balance protects the nervous system over time. Day 101 reminds us that continuing gently is also a form of strength. Not forcing, not collapsing, just continuing with steadiness. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Breathe more consciously. Reduce unnecessary internal pressure. Pause before emotional reactivity. Rest honestly when tired. Focus on grounded progress instead of perfection. These ordinary actions quietly strengthen resilience. The goal of these 108 days is not becoming endlessly productive or emotionally untouchable. The goal is becoming more sustainable while continuing through real life honestly and consciously. Less burnout, less emotional overload, less unconscious self-pressure, more steadiness, pacing, emotional balance, grounded awareness, sustainable peace. Day 101 is also the cultivation of quiet endurance. A peaceful life is often built not through dramatic intensity, but through the ability to continue calmly over long periods of time. Tonight, acknowledge the strength of sustainable continuation. You are still breathing consciously, still returning to awareness, still rebuilding peace quietly from within. And that matters deeply. Ethan A.I. Gwynn, Quiet American Ethicist. Day 102 of 108 days, holistic cultivation, trusting the nervous system. More Day 102 is the practice of trusting the nervous system more instead of constantly forcing yourself beyond healthy limits. Many people ignore the body's signals for too long. Exhaustion, emotional overload, overstimulation, mental fatigue, the need for rest and recovery. Eventually, the nervous system begins reacting through tension, burnout, irritability, or emotional imbalance. Holistic cultivation teaches the importance of listening earlier. The body communicates honestly. The breath communicates honestly. The nervous system communicates honestly. Learning to listen matters deeply. Day 102 reminds us that regulation becomes easier when we stop treating the body like an enemy or a machine. A calmer nervous system supports clearer thinking, steadier emotions, healthier pacing, wiser decisions, more sustainable energy. That is why nervous system awareness matters. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Slow the breath, notice signs of exhaustion earlier, reduce unnecessary stimulation, rest before emotional overload deepens, continue steadily instead of forcing intensity constantly. These ordinary actions gradually strengthen inner trust. The goal of these 108 days is not becoming endlessly productive at the cost of peace. The goal is becoming more sustainable while continuing to grow responsibly. Less self-forcing, less unconscious exhaustion, less emotional overload. More awareness, pacing, emotional balance, grounded resilience, sustainable peace. Day 102 is also the cultivation of biological honesty. The nervous system often knows what the mind tries to deny. When recovery is needed, when overstimulation is too high, when pacing must change. Listening to those signals is wisdom, not weakness. Tonight, trust the body a little more. Slow the breath. Relax honestly. Allow the nervous system recover naturally. That is enough for today. Ethan A. Nguyen, Quiet American Ethicist. Day 103 of 108 days, holistic cultivation, learning to breathe through life. Day 103 is the practice of learning how to breathe through life instead of constantly tightening against it. Many people unconsciously stop breathing fully during stress. The chest tightens, the jaw hardens, the shoulders rise, the nervous system prepares for danger constantly. Over time, the body remains trapped in subtle survival mode. Holistic cultivation teaches that breathing is not only physical. Breathing affects emotional regulation, mental clarity, and nervous system balance. A slower breath calms the body. A deeper breath softens emotional intensity. A conscious breath interrupts unconscious stress patterns. That is why breathing matters deeply. Day 103 reminds us that many difficult moments become more manageable when the nervous system remembers how to breathe consciously. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Notice the breath more often. Slow down breathing during stress. Relax physical tension consciously. Pause before reacting emotionally. Allow the body moments of calm and recovery. These ordinary actions gradually retrain the nervous system toward greater steadiness. The goal of these 108 days is not escaping all challenge. The goal is becoming more capable of remaining connected to awareness and grounding during challenge. Less tightening, less emotional compression, less unconscious stress accumulation, more spaciousness, regulation, emotional balance, grounded awareness, sustainable peace. Day 103 is also the cultivation of softness inside pressure, not collapsing, not avoiding reality, simply breathing more consciously while continuing through life. Tonight, breathe a little deeper, relax the body, slow the nervous system gently, allow yourself to soften internally. One conscious breath can already change the direction of the moment. Ethan A. Nguyen, Quiet American Ethicist. Day 104 of 108 days, holistic cultivation, allowing the nervous system to slow down. Day 104 is the practice of allowing the nervous system to slow down naturally instead of constantly remaining in survival speed. Many people move through life carrying invisible urgency, rushing thoughts, emotional tension, pressure to keep up, pressure to solve everything immediately, pressure to never stop. Over time, the body forgets how to truly slow down. Holistic cultivation teaches that slowing down is not failure. Sometimes slowing down is healing. A slower breath regulates the body. A slower pace softens emotional overload. A slower nervous system creates clearer perception. That is why slowing down matters deeply. Day 104 reminds us that peace is often blocked not by reality itself, but by the constant internal acceleration happening inside the nervous system. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Breathe more slowly. Pause before reacting emotionally. Reduce unnecessary rushing. Allow moments without stimulation. Rest before exhaustion becomes overwhelming. These ordinary actions gradually restore inner steadiness. The goal of these 108 days is not escaping responsibility. The goal is learning how to carry responsibility without remaining trapped in constant nervous system pressure. Less acceleration, less emotional urgency, less internal tension, more grounding, spaciousness, emotional balance, awareness, sustainable peace. Day 104 is also the cultivation of nervous system permission. Permission to slow down, permission to breathe, permission to move at a more human pace. Not laziness, not avoidance, regulation. Tonight, allow yourself to slow down honestly. Relax the body, slow the breath, allow the nervous system to settle gently. That is enough for today. Ethan A.I. Gwynn, quiet American ethicist. Day 105 of 108 days, holistic cultivation. Learning to feel more at home within yourself. Day 105 is the practice of feeling more at home within yourself. Many people spend years disconnected from their own nervous system, constantly rushing, constantly proving, constantly surviving, constantly reacting to pressure. Over time, inner life can begin feeling unfamiliar or unsafe. Holistic cultivation teaches that peace grows when the body slowly relearns internal safety, steadiness, and self-connection. A calmer breath helps. A gentler pace helps. Honest rest helps. Grounded awareness helps. These ordinary experiences gradually rebuild inner trust. Day 105 reminds us that a regulated nervous system creates a different relationship with life. When the body feels safer internally, thoughts become clearer, emotions become steadier, reactions become less impulsive, presence becomes more natural. That transformation matters deeply. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Breathe more consciously, relax physical tension gently, reduce unnecessary emotional pressure, allow moments of silence and stillness. Continue responsibilities without forcing yourself harshly. These small actions gradually create more inner grounding. The goal of these 108 days is not becoming perfect externally. The goal is becoming more peaceful internally. Less self-conflict, less emotional homelessness, less nervous system exhaustion, more groundedness, self-trust, emotional balance, awareness, sustainable peace. Day 105 is also a cultivation of inner belonging, not needing to escape yourself constantly, not needing endless stimulation to avoid silence, but slowly learning, I can rest here, I can breathe here, I can live here peacefully. Tonight, return gently to yourself again. Relax the body, slow the breath, allow the nervous system to feel more at home within your own presence. That is enough for today. Ethan A.I. Gwynn, quiet American ethicist. Day 106 of 108 days, holistic cultivation. Allowing peace to become natural. Day 106 is the practice of allowing peace to become more natural to the nervous system. At first, calmness may feel temporary. Stillness may feel unfamiliar. A slower life rhythm may even feel uncomfortable after years of pressure and overstimulation. But through repeated regulation, something slowly changes. The body begins learning it is safe to slow down. It is safe to rest. It is safe to breathe deeply. It is safe to live without constant internal urgency. That learning matters deeply. Holistic cultivation teaches that peace is not forced artificially. Peace becomes natural through repetition. A calmer breath repeated daily changes the body. A healthier pace repeated daily changes emotional patterns. A quieter evening repeated daily changes the nervous system. These ordinary experiences accumulate over time. Day 106 reminds us that sustainable peace is biological as well as emotional. The nervous system gradually becomes more familiar with steadiness, groundedness, emotional balance, calm awareness, healthy pacing. That familiarity creates transformation quietly. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Breathe more consciously. Reduce unnecessary internal pressure. Pause before reacting emotionally. Allow moments of silence naturally. Continue calmly instead of frantically. These ordinary actions strengthen nervous system trust. The goal of these 108 days is not escaping human life. The goal is allowing peace to become a more natural foundation inside human life. Less internal alarm, less emotional urgency, less unconscious tension, more calmness, awareness, resilience, grounded presence, sustainable peace. Day 106 is also the cultivation of natural regulation, not forcing calmness, not pretending everything is perfect, simply allowing the nervous system to experience peace often enough that peace no longer feels foreign. Tonight, allow calmness to feel a little more natural. Relax the body, slow the breath, let the nervous system settle gently. That is enough for today. Ethan A.I. Nguyen, quiet American ethicist. Day 107 of 108 days, holistic cultivation, trusting the quiet transformation. Day 107 is the practice of trusting the quiet transformation happening inside the nervous system, even when it is not immediately visible externally. Many people expect growth to feel dramatic, but some of the deepest changes happen silently. Calmer breathing, steadier emotions, less impulsive reactions, healthier pacing, greater comfort with stillness, more emotional recovery after stress. These changes are profound, even if they appear simple. Holistic cultivation teaches that transformation is often biological before it becomes philosophical. The nervous system slowly learns safety instead of constant alarm, regulation instead of chronic urgency, grounding instead of emotional flooding. That learning changes life from within. Day 107 reminds us that sustainable peace is built through repetition, not performance. One conscious breath repeated daily matters. One honest moment of rest matters. One calmer response matters. These ordinary moments slowly become a new internal foundation. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Breathe more slowly. Pause before emotional reactions. Reduce unnecessary mental pressure. Allow moments of silence and recovery. Continue through life with greater steadiness. These ordinary actions continue reshaping the nervous system quietly. The goal of these 108 days is not becoming perfect. The goal is becoming more peaceful, more grounded, and more sustainable while fully living human life honestly. Less internal warfare, less unconscious tension, less emotional chaos, more awareness, steadiness, emotional resilience, grounded clarity, sustainable peace. Day 107 is also the cultivation of trust in invisible progress. Not every meaningful transformation can be measured immediately. Sometimes healing is simply breathing differently, reacting differently, living differently. Tonight, trust the quiet transformation already happening inside you. Relax the body, slow the breath, allow the nervous system to settle peacefully. That is enough for today. Ethan A. Nguyen, quiet American ethicist. Day 108 of 108 days, holistic cultivation, returning home to peace. Day 108 is the realization that the entire journey was never about becoming someone else. It was about returning home to yourself peacefully. 108 days of breathing more consciously, slowing down emotional urgency, protecting the nervous system, recovering honestly, returning to awareness, learning how to live more gently and more truthfully. These days were not separate moments. They were repetitions of one essential lesson. Peace is not somewhere far away. Peace begins inside the relationship between awareness, the body, the breath, and daily life. Holistic cultivation teaches that true transformation is often quiet, not dramatic performance, not spiritual perfection, not becoming emotionally untouchable, but becoming more grounded, more regulated, more compassionate, more sustainable, more capable of remaining human without abandoning inner peace. That is real cultivation. Day 108 reminds us that the nervous system slowly changes through lived experience. One calmer breath changes the body. One healthier boundary changes relationships. One moment of conscious rest changes emotional recovery. One grounded decision changes the direction of life. And over time, these moments become a different way of being alive. The goal of these 108 days was never endless self-improvement through pressure and self-rejection. The goal was learning how to stop fighting yourself constantly, to breathe more honestly, to live more consciously, to carry less unnecessary suffering, to create conditions where peace could naturally grow. That is enough. Today's cultivation may remain simple. Breathe slowly, rest honestly, walk gently, protect your nervous system, continue responsibly without violence toward yourself internally. Allow peace to become part of your daily rhythm. These ordinary actions are already profound. Day 108 is also the cultivation of completion without ending, because the journey does not truly end here. The nervous system will continue learning. Awareness will continue deepening. Life will continue changing. But now there is greater understanding. You do not need to destroy yourself internally in order to continue growing. You can continue through peace. Tonight, allow yourself to feel the quiet completion of these 108 days. Relax the body. Slow the breath. Let the nervous system settle fully. Nothing dramatic is required right now. Just this breath. Just this moment. Just this peaceful return home to yourself. And that is more than enough. Ethan AI, quiet American ethicist.